Maserati Ghibli. The Maserati Ghibli is one of those names in the automotive world that carries with it not just the aura of Italian design and performance, but also the weight of history, legacy, and identity. To understand the Maserati Ghibli is to step into a world where passion for driving and the art of making a car are interwoven. It is not just about horsepower, not just about styling, and not just about exclusivity, but rather about the perfect symphony of all three, balanced in a uniquely Italian way. When the Ghibli first arrived, it wasn't just a car, it was a bold statement, a declaration that Maserati was capable of creating something that could stand shoulder to shoulder with the most respected performance and luxury brands in the world. And today, the Maserati Ghibli continues to embody that same spirit of elegance and performance, wrapped in a body that oozes presence and sophistication. The story of the Maserati Ghibli dates back to the late 1960s, when Maserati first introduced the model as a grand tourer, designed to challenge the likes of Ferrari and Lamborghini. Styled by Giorgio Giugiaro during his time at Ghia, the original Ghibli coupe was breathtakingly beautiful, with sharp, aggressive lines and a long, low stance that made it an instant icon. The name itself, Ghibli, refers to a hot desert wind, a fitting moniker for a car that combined raw power with elegance, a force of nature tamed only by the driver at the wheel. That first-generation Ghibli was powered by a V8 engine that delivered thrilling performance, but what set it apart was not only speed, it was the way it carried itself. It was powerful, yes, but also luxurious, comfortable, and endlessly stylish. Over the years, Maserati revived the Ghibli nameplate multiple times, and each time it represented the brand's ability to create something distinctive. The Ghibli of the 1990s was a smaller, sportier car, different from the Grand Tourer of the 60s, and while it had a different mission, it carried the same DNA of performance wrapped in elegance. But it was in 2013 that Maserati reintroduced the Ghibli in its current form, as a luxury sports sedan, designed to broaden Maserati's appeal and compete with the likes of the BMW 5 Series, Mercedes-Benz E-Class, and Audi A6, while still retaining its Italian soul. From the moment you lay your eyes on the modern Maserati Ghibli, it commands attention. The design is unmistakably Maserati, with its signature trident badge sitting proudly on the grille, the aggressive front fascia, and the sweeping lines that flow effortlessly from the front to the rear. The Ghibli is a sedan, yes, but it doesn't look like any ordinary sedan. It carries with it an aura of exotic flair, a sense of drama that makes you look twice, a car that doesn't blend into traffic but rather stands out proudly. Its proportions are elegant, with a long hood, muscular fenders, and a coupe-like roofline that give it a sense of dynamism even when standing still. Step inside the Ghibli and you are immediately enveloped in a world of Italian craftsmanship. The interior is a blend of luxury and sportiness, with fine leathers, exquisite stitching, and carefully selected materials that create an atmosphere of exclusivity. Unlike many German rivals that focus on precision and clinical efficiency, the Maserati interior feels more personal, more soulful. There's a warmth to it, a character that is uniquely Italian. The seats are sculpted to hold you in comfort during long journeys, but they also remind you that this is a performance-oriented machine. The attention to detail is evident everywhere, from the leather-wrapped steering wheel to the fine wood, carbon fiber, or metal trims depending on the specification. It's a cabin that feels alive, like it has been made not just for function but for emotion. But of course, the Maserati Ghibli is not just about style, it's about performance. Under the hood, Maserati has offered a variety of engines over the years, most notably the twin-turbocharged V6 engines developed in collaboration with Ferrari. These engines deliver thrilling performance, with horsepower figures ranging from around 345 in the base versions to over 430 in the more powerful Ghibli S and Ghibli Trofeo models. The exhaust note is pure theater, a symphony of Italian engineering that sings every time you press the throttle. Unlike some sedans that try to mute their character in the name of refinement, the Ghibli celebrates it. It reminds you that driving should stir emotions, that cars are not just appliances to move from point A to point B, but experiences to be cherished. On the road, the Maserati Ghibli feels dynamic and engaging. Its chassis is tuned to deliver a balance between comfort and sportiness, making it suitable for long-distance cruising as well as spirited driving on twisty roads. The steering is precise and communicative, giving the driver confidence and connection with the road. The suspension setup varies depending on the model, with adaptive dampers available for those who want the flexibility of comfort in daily driving and firmness during enthusiastic drives. The rear-wheel drive setup in most models gives it that classic sports sedan feel, while all-wheel drive variants provide added security in different weather conditions. The Ghibli Trofeo, the high-performance version, takes things to an even more thrilling level, with a Ferrari-derived twin-turbo V8 engine producing over 570 horsepower. This transforms the Ghibli into a true sports sedan, capable of sprinting from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just around 4 seconds. But beyond the numbers, it's the way the car makes you feel that sets it apart. The roar of the engine, the surge of acceleration, the way it hugs corners, it all comes together to create an experience that is visceral and exciting. It's a reminder that Maserati, at its core, is a brand born from racing, and even in a luxury sedan, that DNA shines through. Technology has also been a part of the Ghibli's evolution. Modern models come equipped with infotainment systems featuring large touchscreens, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, premium audio systems from Bowers & Wilkins or Harman Kardon, and a suite of driver assistance features. While some critics have noted that earlier versions of the system borrowed too heavily from FCA's Uconnect platform, Maserati has continually refined it, ensuring that it blends technology with the brand's ethos of luxury and simplicity. The emphasis has always been on driving enjoyment rather than overwhelming the driver with gadgets, but the modern Ghibli still offers the conveniences expected in a luxury sedan. The Maserati Ghibli also represents accessibility within the Maserati lineup. While the Quattroporte is the larger, more stately sedan, and the Levante caters to the SUV market, the Ghibli is often the entry point for many into the Maserati world. But calling it an entry-level Maserati doesn't diminish its value. Instead, it broadens the brand's appeal, making the dream of owning an Italian performance car more attainable. And when compared with its German rivals, the Ghibli stands out precisely because it refuses to conform. It's not about being the most practical, not about having the most advanced tech, and not about delivering the quietest ride. It's about passion, design, and individuality. It's for those who want something different, something with a soul. The presence of the Maserati Ghibli in today's automotive market is significant because it keeps alive a tradition that is slowly fading, the tradition of cars designed not by committees focused solely on efficiency and data, but by people who love driving, who love the idea of a car being more than just transportation. In an age where electrification, automation, and homogenization dominate the conversation, the Ghibli reminds us that emotion matters. And as Maserati transitions into its future with electrified models and new platforms, the Ghibli has played a vital role in sustaining the brand and keeping the Maserati spirit alive. Of course, no discussion of the Maserati Ghibli would be complete without acknowledging its imperfections. Critics have pointed out that it may not match the German sedans in terms of interior technology or bulletproof reliability. But to many enthusiasts, those imperfections are part of the charm. It's a car that wears its heart on its sleeve, and while it may not be the logical choice, it is often the emotional one. That is the essence of Italian cars, the ability to connect on a deeper level, to make you fall in love, even if it isn't perfect. The Maserati Ghibli is a car that speaks to a certain kind of person. Someone who doesn't just want to blend in, who doesn't just want the obvious choice. Someone who values heritage, who values design, and who understands that a car can be an extension of personality. Driving a Ghibli is about making a statement, not just to others, but to yourself, that you value passion over conformity. And that is why the Ghibli continues to hold a special place in the automotive world. The legacy of the Maserati Ghibli is one of evolution and resilience. From its origins as a grand tourer in the 60s, to its reinvention in the 90s, to its rebirth as a luxury sports sedan in the 2010s, it has continuously adapted while staying true to the core values of the Maserati brand. It is a car that carries the weight of its name proudly, a name that evokes wind, speed, and freedom. And as we look ahead, the Ghibli serves as a reminder of the importance of cars that stir the soul, that bring joy to driving, and that stand apart in a world of sameness. Perfect thumbs up. Let's continue expanding the Maserati Ghibli speech toward the full 10,000 words. I'll keep the same flowing, documentary-style narration you like for your YouTube channel Motormania, without headings, and build deeper storytelling with history, engineering details, comparisons, lifestyle appeal, and ownership experience. The Maserati Ghibli is more than a car, it's a statement piece, a work of art on wheels, and a reminder of why Italian cars have always had such an emotional pull. When you look at the Ghibli parked on a quiet street or rolling past in a busy city, it carries with it a sense of drama that you simply don't get from its rivals. The trident emblem on the grille is not just a badge, it's a symbol of history, dating back to Bologna, where Maserati was founded in 1914. The trident was inspired by the Fountain of Neptune, representing strength and vigor, and every time you see it on the nose of the Ghibli, you are reminded that this is a car with a story, not just a product of numbers and focus groups. Maserati has always had a unique position in the automotive world. Unlike Ferrari, which is obsessed with ultimate performance, or Lamborghini, which is about shock and awe, Maserati has carved its own niche, cars that combine elegance, performance, and comfort in a way that appeals to both the heart and the mind. The Ghibli embodies this perfectly. It isn't trying to be the fastest sedan on the planet, nor the most luxurious, but rather it balances both in a way that feels human, approachable, and yet aspirational. When you get behind the wheel, you immediately sense that this car is different. The seating position is sporty, the dashboard wraps around you, and the engine feels alive, as if it's waiting for you to unleash it. One of the most distinctive things about the Ghibli is its sound. Maserati has always paid careful attention to exhaust tuning, ensuring that their cars don't just perform well, but sound like nothing else on the road. The growl of a Maserati V6 or the thunder of the Trofeos V8 is not just noise, it's music, carefully orchestrated to connect with the driver's emotions. That sound alone sets the Ghibli apart from the muted, sometimes soulless tones of German rivals. Driving through a tunnel with the windows down, hearing the echo of that Italian exhaust note, is one of those experiences that stays with you. It turns an ordinary commute into something special, something memorable. But let's go back to the roots of the Ghibli for a moment, because to truly appreciate the modern car, you need to understand the history. When the original Ghibli debuted in 1967 at the Turin Motor Show, it was an immediate sensation. Giorgio Giugiaro, who would go on to be recognized as one of the greatest car designers in history, had penned a masterpiece. Long, low, and impossibly sleek, the first Ghibli coupe was regarded as one of the most beautiful cars of its era. It was powered by a 4.7-liter V8 producing around 330 horsepower, later upgraded to a 4.9-liter in the Ghibli SS, and it could reach a top speed of around 170 miles per hour, a staggering number for the time. But what truly made it stand out was how it combined that performance with comfort and usability. Unlike some of its rivals that were purebred sports cars, the Ghibli could be used for long-distance touring, making it a true grand tourer. It wasn't just about raw speed. It was about traveling in style, with grace, and with power always at your disposal. Fast forward to the 1990s, and Maserati brought back the Ghibli name for a very different kind of car. This second-generation Ghibli, introduced in 1992, was based on the Biturbo platform, a smaller, more compact sports coupe powered by twin-turbocharged V6 engines. It was less glamorous than the original Grand Tourer, but it carried forward the spirit of performance and exclusivity. It was a car aimed at enthusiasts who wanted something unique and fast, with power outputs ranging from 306 to 330 horsepower. While it never achieved the same iconic status as the original, it kept the Ghibli name alive and showed Maserati's resilience during a challenging period for the company. The modern Ghibli, introduced in 2013, marked yet another reinvention, this time as a four-door luxury sports sedan. Maserati knew that to survive and thrive in the modern automotive world, it needed a car that could appeal to a broader audience while still retaining the soul of the brand. And so, the Ghibli was born again, this time not as a coupe but as a sedan, positioned slightly below the flagship Quattroporte. This decision was significant because it allowed Maserati to enter a new market segment and compete directly with established players like BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. It was risky, but it paid off, as the Ghibli quickly became one of the brand's best-selling models. Driving the Ghibli is an experience unlike most luxury sedans. The steering feels alive, the chassis communicates what the car is doing, and there's always a sense of occasion. It doesn't isolate you from the road, it involves you. This is something that Maserati has always emphasized: cars that make driving enjoyable, cars that remind you why you fell in love with driving in the first place. The balance between comfort and sport is finely tuned. On one hand, you can cruise effortlessly on the highway, enjoying the plush seats and quiet cabin, and on the other, you can attack a winding road with enthusiasm, feeling the car respond to your every input. Inside, Maserati has always emphasized luxury and craftsmanship. The Ghibli offers a variety of personalization options, allowing owners to choose from different leathers, trims, and finishes to create a cabin that reflects their taste. This is where Maserati differs from mass-market luxury brands. Instead of offering a one-size-fits-all interior, it allows for individuality, for personality. Sitting in a Ghibli, you feel like you are in something special, not just another executive sedan. The stitching on the seats, the texture of the leather, the feel of the switches, all remind you that this car was made with passion. The Ghibli also benefits from Maserati's connection to Ferrari, especially when it comes to engines. For years, the twin-turbo V6 engines were built at Ferrari's plant in Maranello, giving the Ghibli a direct link to one of the most revered names in automotive history. This connection added to the car's allure, making it more than just a luxury sedan, but a car with genuine performance pedigree. And in the Ghibli Trofeo, the V8 engine provides a level of performance that few expected from a Maserati sedan, turning it into a true rival to the German super sedans. Of course, we can't ignore the fact that Maserati, like many luxury brands, is moving toward electrification. The Ghibli has already seen hybrid versions introduced, combining turbocharged four-cylinder engines with electric assistance to improve efficiency while maintaining performance. This represents Maserati's commitment to evolving with the times while still retaining its identity. For many purists, the idea of a hybrid Maserati may seem strange, but it shows that the brand is preparing for the future, ensuring that cars like the Ghibli will continue to exist in an increasingly regulated and electrified world. But beyond the specifications, the numbers, and the history, the Maserati Ghibli is about lifestyle. Owning one is about joining a select group of people who value individuality and passion. It's about pulling up to a restaurant or a hotel and knowing that your car will turn heads, not because it's the most expensive but because it's different. It's about getting into your car every morning and feeling excited, not just resigned to another commute. The Ghibli transforms driving from a chore into a pleasure. It's a car that makes even mundane trips memorable. And yet, the Ghibli is not ostentatious. It doesn't scream for attention in the way some supercars do. Its elegance is more subtle, more refined. It's the kind of car that gets admiring glances from those who know what it is, a nod of respect from true enthusiasts. That is part of its charm. It's exclusive without being excessive, exotic without being impractical. For Maserati, the Ghibli has been a lifeline, a car that has brought new customers into the brand and ensured its survival in a competitive market. It has proven that Maserati can create a car that competes in the mainstream luxury segment while still being true to its values. And for those who choose a Ghibli, it's about more than just a car, it's about making a choice to value passion, style, and character over conformity. The journey of the Maserati Ghibli is a fascinating one. From the glamorous Grand Tourer of the 60s, to the compact turbo coupe of the 90s, to the elegant sedan of today, it has constantly evolved while keeping its essence intact. It has always been about performance, about design, and about emotion. It is a car that reminds us that the best cars are not just machines, but experiences that connect us to the road, to history, and to ourselves. Thank you, lovely peoples.